love shooting Farscape. They will not shoot a day of Farscape without me being there because I just love it so much. Because I grew up, we were just talking before, I grew up with Logan's Run and Blake's 7 and Doctor Who and all these fantastic shows. So for me, I'm living a dream. I'd rather be doing that than dicking around in some Australian soap or...
I think that we ambush the escort, we hit him with a rock, and we take his belt.
That is your plan?
Yeah.
To hit him with a rock when they have these, like, shield things?
I absolutely love it. The crew, it's the crew for me that really keep me fascinated with the show because they're just such amazing technicians, and the amount of people behind the scenes that it takes to put an episode of Farscape together is always fascinating. And so just being around the DOP and the directors and everyone like that is just a wonderful education in filmmaking. It'd be absolutely impossible for any of us to direct a show because, for example, at the moment we're midway through season 4. The A unit is halfway through shooting episode 11, and B unit is tidying up 3 other episodes.
Hey, grab my hand!
I noticed that this season everyone is just so much more relaxed with their characters, and as characters sort of move in, stay, move through, some people stay, some people leave, the dynamic sort of changes every time we come to a new season.
I didn't know you could do that.
It takes a bit of practice.
And it's interesting for those personnel changes behind and in front of the camera to have their influence on the way that the set works. So we've got some new key members of the crew coming through this season, and having their input on the show is fantastic because it just brings a fresh eye to the way that you're working. Because one of the dangers of doing a long-running television show is you become stagnant and you become lazy. So bringing new people in who've got fresh new energy for the project, I think has helped us keep buoyant and interested in the project, so we can keep turning up and keep trying to do good work.
Commander, this wormhole is a great deal larger and closer than your assurances.
I think he's discovering himself through the role he has and relationships he has with these other people on the ship has now suddenly taken precedent. I think that's been a nice shift for me and for the show to come into, whereas before the ambitions are sort of outside the world that you see on the screen. Now you've got a character much more focused on fulfilling future ambitions with the people that are actually around him. He's sort of finally coming to not accept, but at least willing to wrestle with the idea that these people are his family now, and his sort of future is going to have to really entail or incorporate all the complicated emotions and history that he has with these 4 other characters, or 5, all these other characters.
Oh, come on. Look on the positive side. At least you won't be haunted anymore.
Unlike us.
She can stay on our desk, have a goal, something to fight for.
Unlike us.
It's been cool. It's been a real rebirth because you lost if the audience doesn't have a sense of what your super objective is. If they're thinking, oh, he wanted to be with his family, he wanted to be on a farm, but sort of Jothy's gone now, so does he really still want that anymore or not? Or you sort of lose a bit of the identification with that character. So we've managed to sort of refocus Dargo's energies in season 4 and give him a real challenge, and that challenge involves a really long arc. So it's enabled us to pull that character much more into sharp focus.
And finally, 4 votes for a new and deserving captain. Ka D Argo.
It doesn't worry me that sometimes that there seems to be an ambiguity, because I think all great characters flesh out the ambiguities rather than the consistencies. Consistent characters are the really boring ones that you know how they're going to be, what they're going to do around the corner. And I think we've shown quite a bit of ambiguity of lots of characters on Farscape, so it's interesting to see them reacting to things in ways that you think are completely inappropriate.
Ah! I am bleeding! Will you look at me? I am bleeding!
Dargo's never had his fill of chicks and babes from other planets. My one goal for Dargo this season is to make Dargo the biggest slut that space has ever seen. Do you say slut in England?
Do you feel that? Just let the tug of energy tell you How fast do you need to work?
He just loves getting out there and just cracking onto chicks of all different species, sizes, types. It's just, that's his thing.
Perhaps. Being here, I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm most proud of bringing looseness to him because it's taken so much work. Just not only in terms of sort of psychological and emotional makeup of the character, but just also working with the physical constraints of working in prosthetics and makeup. And I look at so much prosthetic work in great films that I admire, and when people are really fully covered in these things, they become really stiff characters. And I noticed that in myself in many episodes, and certainly in series 1 at the start. And so we just concentrate all the time on keeping him just looser and looser and looser and more fun, and yet still containing the gravitas and the power of this warrior. And I think we've really moved towards that. So that's the thing I'm really most proud of.
I'm going to tell you something I've never actually put into words before. I love shooting things. You know what? I'm very good at it.
The people that I really knew before the show, so I knew Claudia before the show, I knew Wayne Pygram really well before the show, and I think I'd taught Gigi, or I'd taught at Gigi's university, but I didn't really know her, sort of just was around her world, but I think that's about it. But they're the main ones that I knew, Claudia and... Oh, and Tam, I used to live with Tam, yeah.
I think that you're unusual for a Luxon.
The new characters are so awesome.
Closer. Closer.
I have never ever had a scene with her, I don't think. I think once at the end of season 3 I'm locked in a cage and she sort of swung by.
How long will it take for our command carrier to get there?
10 hours.
Make it 5, Captain.
She's a great mate of mine from a really long time ago. We first met doing theatre in Brisbane, which is another city in Australia. I hazard to say probably 12, 13 years ago. So I've known her for quite a while. It's really great to have her there on the show. Once again, new energy, and having Melissa on the show is absolutely fantastic. So I've been a fan of her. She's very, very well respected Australian actress, and so having her there is great. She brings a lot of weight to the show, which is brilliant. And of course, she's been on the show before. She played, I think her name was Neelam, an old Luxon, episode 3 in season 2, and that was Melissa as well in the Luxon garb. And we always, ever since that moment, everyone behind the scenes, in front of you, everyone just loved working with Melissa so much. So when an opportunity came up for her to have a more significant role in the show, I think everyone jumped with glee.
D, what's up?
Nothing, it's Snaranti.
Is she in pain?
No, it's the opposite.
She's experiencing intense pleasure.
Very intense. John, do you think you can...
Whoa, no, don't come near me when you're feeling like that.
Come on, Dargo, just fight it.
D, think about baseball, math, isosceles triangle, rusty razor blades, gravel.
She lost it.
I'd like it to end up strong, whatever that means, whether it means ending at season 5, whether it means ending at the end of a 6th season or the end of a 4th season, it's as long as it doesn't get the sense you know, Battlestar Galactica-itis, where you think, oh, we've run out of ideas, but we'll change the cast and keep going anyway. You know, you want it to still stay strong, and you want to go out for people going, oh, I wish that show didn't end, because I was just loving it so much. I think that's the best way to go.